Hello, ma'am. So it's my honor to present my recitation for our lessons last Friday and a glimpse of what we have discussed last Saturday. So this would be my input and what I have learned in our discussion because I didn't recite at all. I don't have that opportunity to speak. So here is my input. And if there is any corrections in my way of explaining what I have learned, then I will be so honored if you will correct me because this topic is quite challenging. Okay, last Friday we have discussed about global indicators. So this is the continuation of what we have discussed in our first lesson, which is the traffic conferences. So in the world we have three traffic conferences, areas 1, 2, and 3. It's just the same. So just a disclaimer, let me use my notes. This is my personal notes so that I can easily understand our topic because, as I've said earlier, it's quite challenging. So for our IATA global indicators, we have codes like WH for Western Hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere is EH, AT for Atlantic, PA for Pacific, PN for Pacific North, AP for Atlantic or Pacific, SA for Southeast Asia or South Atlantic, FE for Far East, RE for Russian, and TS for Trans-Siberian. So, as I saw your picture that is sent in our group chat, I've made this tabulation so that I can still understand it well. So for our first column, we have the traffic conferences. Second column would be what are the global indicators are. For the third column, we have what areas is included in these traffic conferences. So in our fourth column, I have here the transit route or the intermediary points. So for the traffic conference 1 or the area 1, Western Hemisphere, so in this map, Area 1 comprises what is called the Western Hemisphere. So, all countries within Areas 1 is included in TZ1, either origin or destination as what is displayed on this right side screen as my example and what you provide us as an example. So, TZ2, we have the Eastern Hemisphere, Area 2, all countries within Area 2, so it includes Europe, Africa, and Middle East. Again, it can either be origin and destination as long as it falls under the Area 2. Then for TZ3, we have still Eastern Hemisphere because Areas 2 and 3 is Eastern Hemisphere of the world. So all countries within Area 3, the Asia's countries, Australia, and the likes, Japan, Korea. Okay, so now we're going to the one of the challenging traffic conferences and global indicators. So we have here TZ1 and 2 or 2 and 1, vice versa, it can interchange. So we have here the global indicator Atlantic. So its transit point is Atlantic Ocean. So for areas 1 and 2, so North America, and Europe, dumaan siya sa Atlantic Ocean. Then South Africa and South America, dumaan pa din siya sa Atlantic Ocean. So for TZ3 and 1 or 1 and 3, Pacific. We have here PA and PN, diba? So Pacific, areas 3 and 1, all countries sa areas 3 and area 1. Tapos dadaan siya sa Pacific Ocean. Okay? Hindi siya dadaan sa area 2. Hindi sa Arctic Ocean, hindi sa Atlantic Ocean or Indian Ocean. Pacific Ocean lang siya dadaan or yun yung kanyang gitna. Okay? And then, for TZ3 and 1 or 1 and 3, Pacific North, dito, we have a strict rule. So, the transit point should always be North America. So, for example, is here. TZ3 and 1, let me just move my camera or myself so that you can have a view of this example. So, okay, South America, North America in transit or yung middle niya, then Southwest Pacific. Again, pag origin and destination in Pacific North, kailangan strict din siya sa Southwest Pacific or South America lang. Yun lang siya, maglalaro lang siya sa Southwest Pacific to South America or South America to Southwest Pacific, and intermediary point niya is North America. So, TZ1 and 1, 2, 3, for Southeast Asia or South Atlantic, we have here areas 1, 2, and 3. But the origin and destination is strict din siya sa ABCPU countries. What are the ABCPU countries? We have the Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, and Uruguay, and Southwest Pacific countries. Pero in transit niya ay sa TZ2 or Areas 2. Okay, parang dadaan siya sa Area 2. Ito kasing ABCPU, nasa Area 1 siya. Then, Southwest Pacific, syempre, nasa Area 3 siya. Interchange, 3, 1, 1, 3, as long as yung gitna niya is Area 2. Then, for Atlantic, 1, 2, 3 pa din siya. However, ang daan niya is Atlantic Ocean. So, most probably, sa mga parts ng Europe, ganon. Like this one, 1, 2, 3, Europe, ganon. Ito kasing SA, yung kanyang intermediary or transit point, limited lang siya sa mga countries within Central Africa, South Africa, and IOI only. Kasi 'di ba, ang areas 2 meron tayong Europe, Africa, and Middle East. So, dito sa TZ123 SA, ang transit niya lang ay nagfo-fall sa Central, South Africa, and IOI. Okay? Pero pag TZ12380, pwede siya sa Atlantic dumaan and any countries sa Area 2. Okay? So for TZ23, we have the Atlantic or Pacific, Areas 2 and 3. So, di ba, magkatabi na siya. Pero meron pa ding mga kailangang i-consider at paikot-ikot at iguguluhin ng mundo natin. So, for TZ23AP, Atlantic and Pacific, we have the Korea, North America, and Europe. So, dumaan pa siya sa Pacific. Dumaan din siya sa Atlantic. Hindi na lang siya dito, no? Hindi na lang siya nag-shortcut. Nag-long cut pa siya. Diba? So, for TZ23 Trans-Siberian Routing, yan. Dito naman, no Russia. Wala kang pupuntahang Russia, pero pwede ka mag-transit sa Japcore. Okay? Basta ang destination mo pa din naman ay 2 at 3 or 3 at 2. And then, for TZ23FE, ito naman, pwede ka mag-Russia, pero bawal ka mag-transit sa Japcore. Japcore is Japan and Korea. As for example, Southeast Asia, Europe, hindi ka dumaan ng Japcore. Eh dito sa kabila, sa Trans-Siberian, dumaan ka ng Korea. Japcore, o di ba? Tapos sa TZ23 RU, Russia, pwede ka sa Russia, pwede ka sa Japcore. Walang rule. Pwede. Malayang-malaya ka. And then for Eastern Hemisphere, of course, Areas 2 and 3, Eastern Hemisphere, no rules at all. Kaya mo na yan. So that would be all for the global indicators. If I explained it well, and if there is any clarification, just let me know. Correct me. I will be honored if you correct me. So for our discussion last Saturday, we have discussed about types of journeys. We have one-way, round trip, circle trip, and open jaw. For one-way, diretso lang siya, Philippines to Singapore, okay? Round trip, babalik ka ng Philippines. Philippines, Singapore, Philippines. Circle trip, Philippines, Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, Philippines. And open jaw, meron kang ibang mode of transportation na ginamit. Hindi lang airplane. Kasi naputol. And then we also discuss about the leg segment. So we count about leg segments, yeah. So just a glimpse of what is discussed last Saturday. So thank you for listening to my and appreciation to my recitation. I hope that you will consider this as my input. Oh, inaral ko po talaga ito para maintindihan ko. So yeah, and again, I'm Sydney Vargas Balatbat, a BS ITTM 3B student, and pardon for using my nose and using this kind of platform. It may not be as beautiful, aesthetic as others' recitation, but I believe that in this way we can understand better about the topic. Thank you again, Ma'am Mitch, for having this opportunity to us students skip or miss the opportunities during the discussion.